Hey, what's up, guys? Very,
Hey,
very happy day that I'm here with you. Everything's going great today.
yeah, I was really bummed. I was like, damn, we're not going to have anything to talk to Kyle about. It's just a dead news day. What are we going to talk about? The weather? Yeah, you caught us at a good time. We were just having a conversation about how Gavin and I feel a little foolish that we feel like we got a little bit duped 2 days ago, right? We had flew back from New York. We'd gone through all of the chaotic FAA stuff. Being at the airport was a nightmare at LaGuardia. I've heard it was worse in Newark and other places around there. We were really feeling like, wow, the pressure's on Donald Trump. He's talking about sending out $2,000 tariff checks. He's looking at approval ratings in the 30%, the lowest of his second term. Things are looking bad. And it felt like to us in that moment, after watching the crushing victories of the election on Tuesday, hey, the Democrats are learning their lesson. They're going to bring the heat. They're going to hold the line. They're going to really fight for the American people because they can tell that's where people have an appetite, right? Like, hey, if you bring all of what you've got to Donald Trump and you resist him, people are going to be okay with the fact that there's going to be a little bit of pain coming on. They understand that down the line, you're actually protecting them, even though their SNAP benefits might be expiring, even though they might be 40 days out of work. My next door neighbor works for Social Security, so he was having to go to work every day and still not getting paid. People were fed up and they were ready for the Democrats to fight. They rolled over completely. Why do you think that is?
Because Chuck Schumer's a bitch. I mean, it really is that simple, right? I think that behind the scenes, the Republicans told Chuck Schumer, if you don't take this deal, we're going to nuke the filibuster. And I think that that made Chuck Schumer go, oh shit, I'm going to take the deal. But here's the thing, he shouldn't have. Your response to that should be, go ahead. Go ahead and nuke the fucking filibuster. And then what'll happen is you'll be able to get whatever the fuck you want through for the next 3 years. And then when we take power, we'll be able to get whatever the fuck we want through. Right? But that's the thing is like he doesn't actually want to do all of the things that you and me want. Like we know what we want. We want Medicare for all and free college and a living wage and to end the wars and all sorts of great stuff. And Chuck Schumer doesn't want those things. So if they were to nuke the filibuster, then the next time the Democrats get in power, it would be like, you have no excuse now. Now, if even if you have like let's say Democrats hold like 54 seats in the Senate, even if you have two fucking like, Joe Manchins and Kirsten Sinema's, you still can get shit through. And they don't want that. They're such institutionalists that even staring directly in the eyes of fascism, they bend the knee and fall back into the institutional bullshit. And by the way, the message that this sends to Trump and to Mike Johnson is like, us Democrats will never fight on fucking anything ever. So just always stand your ground and you will always fucking win. And that is a terrifying place to be because then, like, what's there to stop him? The Supreme Court gave him 17 straight decisions on the shadow docket. They gave Trump 17 straight decisions. So you're telling me the courts have bent the fucking knee and the Senate Democrats have totally bent the fucking knee? Well, no wonder he's fucking running wild. He knows like there's zero consequences. So he gets to throw a political temper tantrum and always get away with it. But the good news, guys, is that everybody I see, right, like literally from fucking like Matt Iglesias to Ezra Klein to Jonathan Chait, it's like no matter how far to the right you want to go inside the tent of the Democratic Party, even they're like, bro, really? Because what was the point for if you were going to get a deal this bad, why did you make us go through pain for 40 days? You could have gotten this deal within a week. So why'd you make everybody go through it? So you got nothing to show for it, and everybody's awake now. Everybody realizes Chuck Schumer has to go. There's a revolt. The fact that Ro Khanna is out there saying Chuck Schumer's got to go, and other politicians are now out there saying the same thing. I'm telling you, man, something has shifted. And I mean, me and Chris were watching MSNBC. Host after host was like, Schumer's got to go. Schumer's got to go. And this is not like 2017 or 2018. They were the cheerleaders for those people in 2017 and 2018. He's not fit for the moment. He's a fucking dinosaur. And this was the worst decision he could have ever made. And the chickens are going to come home to roost for him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree about that. And what's really wild to me is seeing all of these kind of centrist and moderate Democrats acknowledge what you just said about Chuck Schumer, that he's a total dinosaur, that he needs to fucking go, that he's not fit for the moment. What really blew my mind, Kyle, the other night, on the night of Zoran's election in New York City, we were at a bar watching CNN. They're interviewing AOC, and she couldn't bring herself to say that about Chuck Schumer. I forget who the host was, but they were asking her, hey, what's your opinion on this, tension that people are talking about between you and Schumer? Are you going to potentially run to take him out? What's your feelings about his leadership at this moment? And she basically responded that that's just a line from the GOP, from the Republicans, to try to divide the Democrats, that her and Chuck Schumer love working together and that everything's hunky-dory. I was shocked by that because here we are in the night of this massive election for the DSA. I figured AOC would have the confidence, at least in that moment, to declare war on Chuck Schumer and to say, no, the gloves are off, motherfucker. We just won here in New York City. Kathy Hochul had to bend the knee. Hakeem Jeffries had to bend the knee. Now it's time for you to get the fuck out of town because we're the new, boss on the block. She wasn't able to do that. And again, it really blew my mind. It really struck me as a missed opportunity. And then, just a few days later, we see this. Obviously, Chuck Schumer didn't technically vote to reopen the government, but everyone acknowledges that he was behind the effort to cave to Donald Trump. What do you think the progressive message, specifically coming from people like AOC, should be towards Chuck Schumer in this moment? Do you think that the progressives need to get their ass together and really start acting like that left-flank Tea Party that's out for blood when it comes to the establishment Democrats?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get outflanked by fucking like Ezra Klein and Matt Iglesias and Jonathan Chait. That's just embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of when they were like, when Bernie and AOC were defending Biden well after the point where it was clear he had to step down because his brain wasn't working. So what it tells me is I think AOC is going to try to run for president. I don't think she's going to, like, if she was going to go after Schumer, I feel like she would have said, fuck Schumer, like something against Schumer, but she didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's bad news to me because I want some indication that she's set on running for the Senate, because at this moment, I'm not sure she's ready to run for president. And like Senate would be perfect because I'd much rather have her in there than Chuck Schumer in there. But yeah, I mean, they got to grow some balls. The left flank has to grow some balls. I mean, you got like Graham Plattner's running and he's saying, I don't think Schumer should be the leader. And now I see people who were critical and skeptical of Plattner, and now we're out there like, fuck it, let's let this guy try because what's in there now is fucking horrible. So it's unfortunate to see her go soft right now because to be fair, that was before the cave. Maybe there was a hope there of like, he's not going to cave. Maybe she didn't know about what they were working on. Because like for a second there, I thought, oh, the Democrats are going to ride this out. And so I was thinking like, thank God they're fucking fighting on one thing. But they didn't. And so now I'm curious what she's saying now. Maybe her tune has changed a little bit now because basically everybody I see now is like, fuck this guy.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.